John. How you doing?
Not too bad for a Thursday.
That's right.
Getting ready for the day to begin.
Pretty good. No breakfast plans, right?
I might go to the deli in a little bit.
Okay.
I got to go in and see how much work I got to get done.
But no, that's not a group event.
No, the breakfast thing I usually do on my own.
Okay.
Because most time I get in before the group does. So usually what I do is I go over and grab something to eat maybe and then do my calls and get set up and get going with the day.
Okay. Well, that's cool. All right. Well, and when do you start getting the gang together?
About 11. By making first pass, about 11:15.
Okay. Well, we're doing some discussions here. I'm going to interview different people today on, what they think about the lunch crew and what's going on. Maybe I should just interview what the hell is going on down here altogether.
I don't think you want to know what's going on down over
What was that all about? I don't know.
John has his role here, and he does it very, very effectively. We all have our place, and life's great joy is finding your place in the world. John has his place.
So
and what is
to the world? Others add, beautiful novels and literature. I add lunch plans.
Lunch organization.
Lunch organization. Well, but Mark, I seem to recall that last week you had engaged on a rebel effort to be a different lunch coordinator.
To be honest, I have a new appreciation for the difficulty of the task that John does.
Seriously?
Well, you're trying to coordinate anywhere between 3 to 7 people to go to lunch. Not only get everyone up at the same time, getting people off the phones, but then you're trying to also organize where to go.
If people fully understood the scope of the task, it would be on his resume. Project manager.
I swear to God, you got one guy who's location sensitive. All he says depends on where you're going. Well, where would you like to go? I don't know. You guys decide on what you want to come in or not. He gives you no help whatsoever.
How do you deal with people like that? It must be just it's kind of like a sales skill, isn't it?
It's always selling it. Every day, John's closing.
This whole lunch thing about, your history here for the past couple of years, Erickson he's like a coordinator, or what's his deal?
John Erickson is the social director of the lunch fiasco, as I like to call it every day.
Yeah, now I've heard you're sort of the anti. Now you used to be part of the crowd, but now you're like the anti-Erickson crowd deal, or what's the deal?
Well, John no longer includes me. He paints a picture like I am, but his heart really isn't in to include me. Although he does go through the motions, I would say, and invites me daily.
But he's not sincere.
It's not sincere, and even though he clearly sees I brought my lunch. Now today, in fact, I brought my lunch with a little beverage supplement today. Yeah, it's a special day.
That's quite the lunch menu.
I was hoping
there,
maybe John would invite me today. I told him I'd bring the liquid refreshment.
Really?
But what it really is, it's a cult organization that gets together every day. And I don't know what goes on there, to be honest with you. All I know, if they say the word Chinese, I break out into a cold sweat.
But now, so what's Erickson doing? He goes around. Does he even invite you anymore to this thing at all? Or
again, he goes through the motions, but
okay.
I know his heart's not in it.
Yeah, but he's really trying to get.
Every day at exactly 11:15, John Erickson comes over to our area of our cube over here and recruits people to attend lunch. I see it almost like a dog coming over every day and kind of sniffing around a little bit, and maybe even raising his leg and making his mark on a daily basis.
Wow.
And eventually this so-called cult organization gets together and they meet daily at a place to be determined.
Yeah.
And
does he put a lot of effort into this thing?
Puts a lot of effort into it.
I know Mark Evans today told me this, kind of like it's probably his best sales effort. He thinks that Erickson actually goes after is in his ability to coordinate lunches. That's where he puts his most energy in his sales.
He puts his heart and soul in it every day, and he's consistent. That's the key.
Yeah.
Just like any sales effort, he's consistent.
Well,
and he's persistent, I must say.
And last week, and kind of what prompted this whole lunchamentary thing is that I saw Evans trying to start another group, and then he like a coup. And then he gave up. He said he couldn't do it. He couldn't handle the pressure.
Well, I tried to put a stop to this whole thing. John was on vacation for a week. When he came back, I told him the whole lunch thing was over. Everybody now brings their lunch. They're all in a hell kick. He broke out in a cold sweat. He didn't know what to do. He lost his appetite. He was a wreck for the day. I had to tell him I was kidding. So I took him over to Chinese for a little gung pao chicken, and he was much better.
Oh, very good.
At that point.
Okay, get your hair fixed, man. I see you got take control there going on in the background. Hey, so
I'm working on issue tracks.
I see that. Very good issue tracks in the background with video. I don't.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to get some background before we get to the actual and really witness the whole lunch thing. Kind of what's your take on the way lunches are coordinated by Erickson?
You know, if it wasn't for John, I think we would all starve. I mean, bottom line.
That is pretty
it's incredible. The man is an incredible go-forward guy when it comes to the lunches. I mean, he's the go-to man. He is the guy that you want to rely upon. If nothing else, if you use him for nothing else, and just the lunches,
yep,
it's phenomenal.
Well, there was a comparison by Mark Evans today, or what basically Mark suggested was that Erickson puts his best sales efforts into this lunch coordination.
He closes us all. I mean, if you ever want to see closing techniques like No Tomorrow,
okay, well that's what we're going to see today. Okay,
and a lot of times it's subtle and it's different every time. That's the beauty of it.
Well, he was explaining that some of you guys, okay, I don't want to go unless we're going to certain restaurants, and other ones, well, I won't go unless such and such else is going with me. I mean, is it that complicated, really? It
really can be, but I'll tell you, he doesn't crumble under pressure. That's
wow.
The beauty of it, is he will literally come in, and you know what a lot of times he'll do? He'll spin it on you. He'll tell you, okay, we'll go to Chinese. The next thing you know, we're at Subway. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that.
Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, very good. Anything else on the lunch thing?
No, like I said, he brings us together. Bottom line.
That's good, Scott. You're over here. You were chuckling, I guess, while we were interviewing Greg. What's your take on this whole John Erickson and the lunch coordination process?
I got to tell you, I mean, there's been times where I haven't wanted to go to lunch, and John just came over and gave me his talk, and all of a sudden, the stomach started rolling, and I had to be in. I had to be part of that. I had to be part of the team.
How does he close you? How does he get this done?
He's got different techniques. It's kind of sneaky. One day he'll hit you with something, and when you're ready for it the next time, when you really got to work through lunch, you got to apply yourself, and you're maybe down that month, he hits you with something else that you totally don't see coming. And all of a sudden, you're in Louie's truck. You're on your way down the road. It's just amazing his mojo when it comes to getting us to go. I mean, Marilyn can attest. She'll be flat out saying no. She doesn't want to go to lunch. She's got things to do. She's got to go home to feed her kids or feed her dog or take care of stuff. And John talks to her for a little bit. A couple minutes later,
she'd give up feeding her kids to go to
feeding her kids. Her kids are suffering at home.
That's
because
incredible.
She's going to Chinese food. It's
that is an amazing sales technique. Okay, well we're gonna see it in action today.
Are we?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right.
Excellent. I think you'll be amazed.
Marilyn, okay. I mean, so far today, what I've been hearing is John Erickson is an amazing salesperson when it comes to lunch coordination.
It's pretty persuasive.
But how does he do it? I mean, what is it? Hold it. Now, you got 2 bottles of wine over here too. That's the same 2 bottles.
He had to give me these 2. This is my.
Oh, okay.
This is what he had to give me in order to go to lunch. So sometimes he resorts to.
Hold it. Is Hamblin? Is this? Did Hamblin give you? Is Hamblin trying to undercut Erickson already today?
I think he is.
He's already in.
Sometimes
Okay,
it boils
there's
down
more.
To the best offer, Get a bottle of wine. So Hamblin's in right now. We'll have to see what Erickson comes up with.
Wow, because I've heard that Hamlin's sort of the anti-lunch Erickson lunch crowd.
He is. I think between you and I, he can only deal with Erickson 1 day a week.
Okay.
Yeah. More than that, and it's just too much for him.
So Mark Evans told me that he thinks that Erickson's best sales techniques are put to use in this whole lunch coordination thing. Is that kind of your sense too?
I would agree. If he applied just 1/10 of that, he'd already be at club. He'd be past Forrest over here.
Well, I get the impression it's like a passion for Erickson.
It is. Meals, lunch. That's his
Social thing.
Social thing, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see him in action then later on.
All right.
All right. Is this part of your lunch crowd here you're working with, or is this a different?
We're preparing.
Are you adding to your crowd already?
Yes,
Well, yeah, in conjunction with a couple leads that I passed over, she was asking me about lunch. Preliminary, they set up a tentative plan that I'm going to instant message her about 11:20 or so.
Because now, Caroline is actually, I mean, outside the Activant Direct group, are you actually branching out in your power base here?
Caroline's been an active part of the lunch group for a number of months.
Really? I didn't know. I wasn't aware of that development.
No. Caroline is an integral part of the lunch crowd. And she definitely has an open invitation each and every day. Specifically, I will ask her on specific days if she can come over and join us. And sometimes it's a little difficult giving her work schedule, but when she can, she loves to come out and go to lunch with us, just to kind of mingle and get caught up with the day-to-day activities of what's going on with us.
Very good. Very good. You find that there are certain restaurants that she won't go to with you?
Oh, no. Caroline's very flexible.
Or what if are there certain people that if you invite them from Activant Direct, she's like, I don't want to go there?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
She's pretty much been open to whoever goes. Sometimes it's been her and I, other times it's been 6 or 7 of us, or just 3 or 4 of us.
Now, I just...
She's one of the most easygoing lunch people to have.
I don't want to... I really want to be more of an observer than, an instigator, but I was over there talking to Hamblin because I understand Hamlin's kind of the anti-Erickson lunch crowd. And I noticed he had a couple bottles of wine in his cube. Then I was talking to Marilyn, and she had the same 2 bottles of wine now in her cube. Do you think, does Hamblin actually go so far as to bribe people not to go to lunch with you?
Hamlin's part of an elitist lunch group faction. His whole purpose and role is to try and disrupt the daily lunchroom activities merely by exercising control. He doesn't necessarily want to go to lunch. He just likes to be a disruptive influence.
Okay.
Generally, what he does with the wine is he tries to exchange it with Marilyn and talk about jazz and other things. But then when it comes down to the crunch time, Marilyn almost always goes with us.
Okay.
Because of the fact that Dick is rather slavish to only going to lunch 1 day a week, and during the other days he brings his lunch. And he only goes to 1 location. So Dick is an elitist lunch member who only goes to 1 location on 1 day.
Yeah, okay.
He's very inflexible.
All right, good deal.
And he tried one time to overcome this, and we had to squash him. I'd actually take away Marilyn and overtake his lunch plans and get everyone to go.
Okay. Yeah, incredible. I want to come back to you here before you begin the lunch coordination and kind of talk to you about some of your sales techniques. And maybe then we'll do even a post critique after that.
Oh,
so.
of the lunch? Sure.
Yeah. Okay, great.
So, Eric, it's about 9:30 already. In talking to people, there are efforts and energies being put out into this lunch coordination thing. It's pretty interesting. I mean, you kind of see this stuff going on all the time?
Well, lunch is a big deal around here, Doug. You got to understand that when we prioritize our efforts for our daily to-do list, lunch is probably the first and foremost on everybody's list. And I'm sure you're well aware that John Erickson is probably the premier lunch arranger, setter-upper, scheduler of the group.
Well, now interestingly enough, Mark Evans said that he thinks that that Erickson's best sales skills, and actually now I'm hearing it kind of from other people, that Erickson's best sales skills are actually put to use on these efforts.
If John had the same tenacity and closing skills demonstrated in his Activant Direct efforts that he does in lunch, he'd be 1,000% performer.
Wow.
He knows how to take them through the sales cycle, showing them the value of why they should attend the lunch and the overwhelming joy they're going to get afterwards as far as spending time with John and culminating in just a tremendous lunch extravaganza.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so it's not just the food, it's the company.
It's the company, it's the food, it's the total package, right?
Okay.
And John can sell that better than anything else we have on our
Price card.
What
is your complaint?
I'm not on the lunchamentary schedule.
You
don't
mean
get any information
Erickson
in advance about the lunch plans.
Wonder why that is, Laurie.
I don't know. I think maybe I'm
were
excluded.
Were you at one time part of that group?
I was at one time part of that group. I think I was blacklisted.
If you don't mind, maybe it's because you moved up to the Ivory Tower.
This could be true, but we don't make much more money up there, so I still want to go to all the cheap places Activant Direct goes.
So John, I know it's early yet. You got another 20 minutes before or at least 20 minutes before you start. But I assume that in your mind you're already beginning to hatch kind of, or is there any
word afoot about who he's such and such can't go today?
I've already got 3 confirmations in right now.
You already got 3. I mean, do people email these to you? You got a website?
Jason's in. I talked to Jason.
Oh, Jason's not even Activant Direct. You're reaching outside of.
Well, he's usually been an integral part of the lunch group. But
Oh,
he's
okay.
in. Marilyn's in, and Mark Evans is going to be in, and myself.
Did you have to do much arm twisting with Marilyn, or
No.
you think anybody's going to be a difficult case today?
The only difficult case usually is Scott Blakeslee because he's very slavish to a one location format.
And where does
He's
he?
location driven. He's usually a sports bar kind of guy. With Scott, it's either I want to go here or I'm out. You know.
Okay.
So it really just depends upon a number of different things.
I'm hearing all sorts of people tell me that they think you have a greater passion for this type of selling
Well,
than almost any other type of selling. I mean,
the joke was made that I should become an Activant Direct Lunch Implementation Specialist.
Activant Direct Implementation Specialist. Very good. So you're sort of the social.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, we've branched out to different types of sporting pools that we've done, poker nights. Lunch is merely the encompassing, inclusive.
It's the
thing
core.
we do here.
It's sort of the core
here.
package.
It's everything springboards from lunch. So you go over here, you go over there.
Now, do you have any particular, when you plan, when you think about this and you look and you run into difficult issues with people, I mean, are there, I mean, Blakeslee, you've indicated he's a one restaurant type of guy, one type of
He's
restaurant.
very location sensitive.
Location sensitive. How about like Chris Louie is?
Chris Louie is usually pretty flexible, but there's times when he's a Taco Bell, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken, get me in, get me out kind of guy.
Okay.
Sometimes he's very much driven to the quick, inexpensive lunch.
Now with Louie, do you also have to, you feel like you have to have other people? I mean, can you go to lunch with Louie just by yourself?
Yeah, I've done that. I've gone to lunch pretty much with everybody in this group. At least at one point, I've gone to lunch with just by myself.
Now, I see your instant message over there is flashing. Is that anybody talking to you about lunch, possibly even? Or?
No, I doubt that. Seriously, I can tell you right now by clicking on it, it is not someone talking to me about lunch.
Oh.
So no, usually with the lunch thing, what I do, the standard procedure is I get up about anywhere after 11, about 11:10 or so. I look at Mark and I say, "Are you in?" He says yes, and then I work my way that way and go down towards Eric's office, and then I usually cut left and I hit Marilyn first. I look over at him and I just laugh because you know Hamlin's going to turn me down. He's part of the elitist lunch crowd for Friday, so I make the joke with him. He turns around and turns me down, and then I usually head down over there. And I hit, that's Caroline Sanders calling. She may be calling about lunch.
Oh, we better check this out.
Caroline, are we still on for lunch? Good. Sure. Yeah? It's like a data mapping type system. It's like a map quest or something like that. Yeah. So, so we're on for about, Doug's in here. I'm just confirming that you're on for lunch because Doug's in here getting specific details. Yeah. So I'll see. I'll instant message you about 11:20 and make sure we're on. Okay. Bye. Now Keith Ewell, for example, he never gets a direct invitation, but he's always welcome. We have an open invitation to anybody in the group. So it doesn't mean just because I don't specifically request you to come or invite you to come, doesn't mean I don't want you to go. There's been times when Keith said, "Hey, where are you guys going? I want to come with you guys."
Yeah, because I just ran into Laurie Jones in the hall, and she was complaining that feels like she's been blackballed. She doesn't want to come to nobody's inviting her anymore. I mean,
that's not true at all.
Oh,
Laurie's
okay.
always welcome to come.
I didn't know if that was maybe part of the Hamblin thing. You know, he's
No, the
undercut.
Hamblin faction is a small little subversive group that usually gets squashed every time that he tries to rise up. And I talked to him earlier about this, and I know he may try to fuel the controversy to the media again by making some comments to you.
Okay.
But for the most part, he's a minor. He's like a gnat on your arm. You just kind of brush it off.
So another 15 minutes or so, and you'll begin the process.
About 20 minutes or so.
So now, Mark, last week you got involved in. I think I remember this was last week. You were sort of like a subversive element there to Erickson. You're creating a coup attempt on who was going to be organizing lunch, but
that was based entirely on my ignorance of what was involved. I underestimated the task at hand.
it was even greater than you ever imagined.
I'm not up for the task.
Is this thing on the board? Does it have something to do with that?
This was just about getting Marilyn to go.
Wow.
I had to do 2 others to get Louie to go, and Hamblin's easy. Hey, Hamblin, you want to go to lunch? There you go. That's
no,
it.
yeah, he said no.
You know, John doesn't take me to lunch.
He does not?
No, he does not.
And why is that?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll try and keep it as short as possible. I think the reason is because he was mad from a while back from our softball days when we played softball.
Oh, wow, this is a personal thing.
Yeah, there was a couple incidents. One incident was when I tried to throw a girl out at first base, and I overthrew the girl because she wasn't paying attention to her spot. John yelled at me in front of everybody, and I told him he was number one. So he didn't like that too well. The other time was...
You think this girl is still on his instant messaging list or anything like that, maybe?
Who knows?
Okay.
That could be. The other time was he pulled me out of a game pitching because he caved into peer pressure from players. So I got upset and threw my glove and stormed out.
So do you ever get even invited to these lunch
No.
soirees?
I usually sometimes play basketball, but not even once in a while. Hey, if you're not playing basketball, come play. So I just think it's that he still has that.
But then you
resentment.
observe Erickson's salesmanship as he goes around and gets people to go?
Oh, yeah. He's very diligent. Asks for the business all the time and makes sure that no one's missed. That's, I guess on the invitation list.
Well, he tells me that this lunch thing is just the basic core of what he sells. The rest of it, he does poker nights and baseball. All sorts of things.
That's all add-on. Just additional
add-ons, enhancements to his social calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, great. Brad, have you ever felt the strong arm tactic of Erickson as he puts together his lunch crowd?
Actually, no.
Really?
Many times I'm left out. They just, I don't know if they just think I'm working or I'm already gone, or they never quite make it down to this side of the Activant Direct cubicle area.
And how do you feel how do you feel about this?
Well, sometimes I'm happy about being left out. Most of the time, I feel a little bit, left out. So.
Yeah, well, I can appreciate that. So Erickson never has employed the strong arm tactics with you, or gotten Chris to come to you or Marilyn and say, "Hey, we're going to lunch."
Not so much. Sometimes he'll walk by, and if I make eye contact, then he'll invite me.
Oh, okay.
Then he'll say, "Oh yeah, we are going, and you didn't want to go. We're leaving now." And then it's strong tact, like now.
Yeah. Okay. So did you ever succumb to that type of sales tactic?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I just shut down and go. If I want to be part of that group.
And what's it like when you go to lunch with these guys? Erickson, is he like leading the group in discussions? About like Socrates or something? Or
no. What's interesting is usually he ends up defending himself on many fronts.
Oh.
So it's I don't even know why he invites all these people to just abuse him. But it happens.
Theory, Chris actually has a lot more power in this thing than it's actually realized.
See the power behind the throne?
Well, because since he's driving all the time and he's the one with the car, we pretty much go when he
so you may get everybody except to go one place.
There's been times when we've literally had people standing out in the hallway waiting to go, and we're all waiting on Chris.
Wow.
It's just the power he has when he's got the wheel.
Okay.
And it's also because he's got the biggest car.
There.
And so, we get in the car and we go, and he puts on his music. Whenever we crank it out, we go.
Okay.
So usually what I do right about now is I've already got Marilyn's by, and Jason actually declined. He's going to go early.
But he's not going to join up with you guys?
Yeah, he went early. He went to El Palazzo. He went to an excellent place. I haven't decided where we're going yet, or haven't had the opportunity to throw it out to you to the group. So what we're going to do is probably take a quick walk, just ascertain what's going on.
What the availability is. Okay.
I'll go to we'll start with the guy who originally called me an idiot savant, but he's not there.
Yeah.
Then I walked in over here. No worries. He says he's sending over. Krueger. Just take a look. He said, assume the worst. He's on the. Where do you want to go for lunch today?
Cafeteria.
Close to the cafe?
Cafeteria over here.
Why over there?
Because I gotta get some work done.
Now that she's on film, is she saying this? Down?
So, in other words, you're trying to say the deli.
Norman down minor, Chris?
Yeah, the deli right over here.
Why?
Because that's where I'm gonna eat today.
No, you didn't clear that with me. Do I have to go get Chris over here?
Please.
You have version 1 or version 2?
Wait, where are you going?
I don't I was going to leave it open to you guys. I thought maybe we could, you need to go somewhere quick, correct?
Right.
So what's quick? Chinese food is quick.
Right over here, the deli.
Deli is quick. Chinese food is quick. But why go to the deli? What's the deli got out there? You need a salad. Is that what you want? A
It's
salad?
close by and relatively inexpensive.
So your objections are close by and relatively inexpensive, right?
That's right.
All right. We can accomplish that. We don't have to go to the
Good. What time do you want to go over there? 11:30?
I didn't say we're going to the deli necessarily. I got to check. If I have to bring Chris over here.
All right, we'll check in. Where does everybody else want to go?
Well, what's quick and expensive? Go ahead from Vasco Road. We can go to like A&W.
Yeah, that's too heavy.
It's too heavy.
Gotta have something light. Like a salad.
Why no cash drawers, Chris?
Doesn't Carl's Jr. offer salad?
No.
Let me work on it before I make a final decision.
Okay.
How's that?
You back to me.
I'll get back to you. All right.
So now does Chris hold like ultimate veto power here, or has he got the transportation? Or?
Yeah, he's got the transportation and the
Okay, I did.
He's on the phone. He'll give me the hand if I sit there and ask him. You might see.
Yeah. What does that mean? No go.
Craig, you got the rest? Where are we going? Where do you guys want to go? Maryland's looking for something cheap and inexpensive.
KFC's good.
That's what I suggested.
Assume the worst.
And
Well, Maryland goes, I don't know about that. So we'll have to work on Maryland. But we'll count on that. Okay? That sounds good to me, Tippy.
well, last time I suggested that, we ended up at
Well,
freaking
that's because Chris
taqueria
got
place.
that's when we ended up so it's because Chris got behind the wheel. Remember we ended up.
No, I think that was Evans that did the switcheroonie on me.
Yeah, Evan threw it out there and Chris bought into it. I had no control over that one.
No, I'll take the KFC. If not, I'm out.
Wow. See, now you're pulling a Blakeslee. You're slaving to the one location.
Whoa.
I've been in the mood for chicken.
We'll clear it up there. There's Chris right over there. I'll do the essential close on him. We'll get it wrapped up and we'll go to KFC. That's fine with me.
Thanks,
You
Joe.
okay with it?
I
Hey,
appreciate that.
it's the least I can do.
Thanks, man.
And what's my motto? I'm all about doing the least that I can.
Yes.
Hey, nice shirt.
No, you didn't even look in this cube.
I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Blake, so you went for KFC to go there?
I am not in, sir. I've got to work through.
All right. That's fair.
Gotta run some errands.
Yeah. Where's your lunch?
Gotta run some errands.
Where's your lunch? So you're going to grab
My
something?
lunch is at Baja Fresh.
So in other words, you're going to Baja Fresh.
I'm going to run some errands to pay for Baja Fresh. It's a little stop off called the bank.
I usually call
What's the
it
matter?
closing sales to pay
Not
for
a
lunch.
You never want to go lunch with us.
I'd love to go to lunch with you, but I've got higher priorities at this time. And anyway, I don't know if I'm eligible for the cult organization. Is that
Now you're throwing out insults. A cult organization. This coming from the leader of the elitist lunch cult on Fridays?
Hey,
Slaves to the one
don't worry about
location.
it. We're not serving Kool-Aid today.
John, have you ever thought about Japanese?
Where did we go last Friday?
Think Japanese.
Where did I coordinate us
Be
to go last Friday?
multicultural.
Where did I take you last Friday to lunch?
What's wrong with Chinese? I don't ever see you stepping out of the box and going for the Chinese.
No, I've gone beyond Chinese. Ever since that dog died the other day, I haven't trusted.
Oh, you went low. That is just, I'm out. That's wrong.
Greg knows what I'm talking
I
about.
know what you're talking
Greg
about,
knows
baby.
what I'm talking. He's talking about the board.
So now where else do you go, John?
Oh.
You
You want to go to lunch with us today?
Today, are we going somewhere Atkins friendly? Because I got to
Yes.
maintain this slim trim 302-pound figure. You know, I've done this with
Wait,
the
you're
Atkins
down to
program.
302?
No, I'm
The
maintaining
clothes
it.
go for what, like 50?
I'm maintaining 302, and I'm doing it quite successfully with the Atkins plan. So you know, it's hard.
how many hamburgers do you have to
We were
be?
talking about KFC, and you can eat the chicken.
Yeah.
I can't eat the chicken, but today I brought an Atkins friendly spaghetti and meatballs. I will eat the meatballs, which are Atkins friendly.
Well,
And
what about the spaghetti?
Spaghetti?
Yeah. Bo, Atkins is no carbs. What do you think spaghetti has in it?
oh, now you're gonna try to tell me the day that you took me out to pizza, there was carbs in that?
Not if you eat the toppings.
Oh, see, I ate the toppings
And you eat the bread.
and the bread. Well,
Of course.
look, all I'm telling you is I'm maintaining the 302 pounds pretty damn well. You wish you could be this slim and trim. So where are we going to lunch today, John?
It's a lot of things I wish for. I don't think that's it. Kentucky Fried Chicken for everything but going.
I'm going to respectfully decline because I do have my spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh, yeah. By all means.
After all that.
Yeah.
Just eat
Isn't
the
that like
meatballs.
cannibalism and meatballs
John.
and meatballs?
Why is KFC out? What's wrong with KFC?
Chinese?
There's too much fat.
Chinese? Would you go
Oh
to
yeah,
Chinese?
let's go to Chinese and we can.
I don't want Chinese.
why the dog's bothering you?
God, why do you people? I can't believe. I'm out. I can't believe you just said that's not even funny. That's not even funny. I don't know if that can be.
Can that be on tape?
Well, we'll find out when Greg gets his little box and he walks out.
John, you know it's fresh.
You know it's fresh. Just a few days old.
You know, guys.
Okay, so I think it looks like you've lost Marilyn. Here, John.
Greg
word,
killed it.
If you see the word,
He started it.
if you see the word Greyhound,
Hey,
at the
Mary,
Chinese
Subway.
restaurant,
Wrap time.
I'll do Subway.
Aha.
Oh, we've gained
Subway,
agreement.
Wrap time.
But not
This
with
is
Greg.
what? Not what?
But not with Greg.
This is
not
why
with
you bring in
Greg.
Chris. Do you see that?
I didn't start it, Mayor.
So do you have this happen sometimes where you have to reach accommodation on the restaurant, but then some of the group has to get kicked out, or they
There's
go?
dynamics in there involved there because of
Are you in or out? See, Blakeslee's out. Apparently, I went too
Because
far
it
with
is-
the dog joke.
Because it's Subway, you're out, right?
Even though I didn't.
So you may be doing KFC on your own.
I may be all by myself, sitting at the table, wishing I can take everything back.
I think you should at least apologize and be sincere about it.
I do apologize, and I am sincere about it.
Uh-oh.
Mark's out
So
at Subway.
who else are you going to
Mark's
try to
out
hit
at
up?
Subway?
Who else are you going to try to
Okay,
hit
so
up
let me
with?
see if I
here?
understand this correctly now. I got to surmise here. Maryland's in for Subway. Chris is in for Subway. I'm either road. Doesn't matter to me. Mark's out at Subway. He wants KFC. We've got a full blown.
Now,
We've
does this
got
happen?
lunch chaos today.
Does this happen? Does this happen very
This
often?
is not good when it's on film. Usually it doesn't happen like this. I think they're just reacting because of the film that's here.
Yeah. Okay. So this has introduced a whole other element to it.
Mhm.
No. It's what people want today.
Well, there is a
Where does
solution.
Marilyn want to go?
Marilyn wants to
where
go
do
to
you
the
wanna
deli or Subway, what she said.
Richard.
She wants either walk next door to the deli or she wants something quick like Subway. That's what she told me. There is an alternative suggestion that I have.
Well, we go where Mare goes.
Did you hear that?
Oh, there you
Go
go.
where Mary goes. Go where Mary goes. That's fine. Mary.
Funny man.
Subway works for you then?
All right, I'll settle for Subway.
There you go. We have it. Subway's in.
Wow.
I guess Evans.
That was pretty cool to watch.
Oh, Evans will go. Hey, Chris. Subway it is. Marilyn wants to go to Subway. We're all going to Subway. So it's about 11:20 now. What time do you want to go? About 11:30? Right now? Okay.
Let's go.
Let me go over and check with Evans. You grab Chris. Stay away from Marilyn. We'll, We're going to Subway.
Also, open invitations there.
Subway. All right, Evans is in. See, and he tried to tell me that he was out.
Really? You think Blakeslee was out to subvert things, or
Hiding in the clique.
you think Blakeslee was out to kind of subvert things? Does he get?
Blakeslee's like that sometimes, you know.
You can't completely trust him.
Blakeslee. I'm on camera. I can't say it.
Oh, come on! No, you really need to tell us, John.
I used to date a woman who was very much into certain things. She was very controlling, very wanting things a certain way, and she didn't get her way on that. She wasn't happy. Blakeslee often reminds me of fond memories of the past like that. You know, he's kind of slavish to a certain format. Doug, hold the camera still.
Yeah, I gotta be careful. I'm gonna fall over if you did, though.
Blakeslee's a lot like a woman when it comes to that, isn't he? He's kind of, you know, he wants to have it a certain way, and then get a certain way, he gets unhappy. Right?
Very true.
See?
Okay.
There you heard it. Greg Forrest, a specialist, said that. What's your employee number?
I decline it all.
What's your employee number for Paula?
Okay, so now it's lined up. So you're going to Subway.
Yeah.
And how's the transportation?
Chris will be
Chris will be driving.
Okay, so
How
you're
many is Evans coming?
Yeah,
So there'll be 5 of us. So we'll fit
that's fine.
perfectly.
Marilyn sits in the back seat. Me and Evan's probably on the other side of
We
her.
have the Maryland sandwich going.
Okay, again.
No, I did. It's nothing bad about it. I'm just saying she's right in the middle. I'm crammed in the middle
yeah.
between
Okay.
the two whiteys.
All right. Well, good deal.
Yeah. Why? You have a meeting? With who? I get big.
So Mark, you're out now.
I'm out now.
All right, now we're down to the 4 of
The
us.
challenge, the changing.
That's all right. We roll. I figure as long as there's a minimum of 3, it kind of hits the minimum requirement.
Now, John, you heard the whole thing from that Mark said. This was how he tried to work the whole lunch thing.
Well,
This
there's
is-
the switch over there when you switch locations. Okay. There's the consoling when you got to console somebody who doesn't get to go where they want to go on there.
yeah. So this is kind of like what goes on in your head every day.
Mhm.
Yeah. Very good.
There's an interest level over here. It goes over here. You know, it's all convoluted.
Okay.
It's very difficult sometimes.
All right. Well, we'll
All right,
have
Mark.
so you ended up with 4 people going.
Hey, Laurie, would you like to go to lunch with us?
No, thank you. I already
Good man.
Okay.
I wanted you to be included. Everybody's included. Chris, are we about ready to roll? All right, that's a yes.
All right, so now you're.
I gotta get Marilyn over here. You sure you want to go, Scott? All right, you ready to go here? Okay. Step back from the computer.
You have to pry them away sometimes.
Well, what happens is that her phone will ring. She'll get a phone call right before you're ready to go.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to see you for a minute.
Let's do that about 12:30, 12:40.
I think we need to do that now.
Why?
There's some important issues that have come up. And we really need
Really?
to
Like what?
address, something with Central and some
Okay.
things with some of the other counties
Sure.
working on.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be back in about an hour or so. All right. Well, let me look. I got reservations for lunch.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you sure?
I'm positive.
Sure. So let me ask you this: you're going to put lunch ahead of the job. Is that what you're saying?
Once you get back to me on the questions that I had about Central, then yeah, I'll be able to address it. I can use my cell phone to call Central on the way to lunch.
Okay, I think that says it all.
There's a lot of things to say at all. That's Eric Ball, my inspiration here at the company.
Now, did you invite Eric to?
Eric
lunch?
never likes to go.
I'm never invited.
Oh,
Eric,
okay.
would you like to join us to
the
lunch
black
today?
sheep, the outcast, the
redheaded sheep of the group.
the redheaded stepchild.
Mm.
See, if he goes, then we can't talk about it. We can talk about it when he doesn't go.
Yeah.
And that, conversely, he talks about us when we're not there.
I'm kind of interested to hear what would have said.
Nothing but good things. Did they not just say you're the inspiration?
Can we film? Would you mind going to lunch and filming that?
I would have to think of. I don't know if they'll let me. I have to put a bug on somebody.
Well, the mole who you know we put a bug on, that's Dick Hamblin, but unfortunately he's not
Yeah,
going with us.
he's not going there. Yeah. Okay.
So you got to take our word for it that nothing but good things are being said at lunches.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're mostly talking about how to improve your productivity.
Actually, to be honest with you, we talked about a number of different subjects.
Well, they talk about how to improve their productivity at lunch. To get to lunch. How can we be more productive at lunch?
Well, what you do is you get a menu ahead of time. That way you pre-order. That way you know exactly what
So you can spend more time just mulling it out.
You don't actually. You actually have any menus here?
We have some menus that are here, I'm sure.
Oh wow.
Actually, John has on speed dial all the local restaurants and fast food places on his phone.
You ask me where to go, we'll go there.
All right, Marilyn, don't get sucked into this.
You're pleading with her now?
Where's Louie?
Transportation's going.
Lou, let's go. All right, hang on. Lou's harassing Keith Ewell.
Oh, now they've had to go reconnoiter, see what's going on.
Evans is out to the pig meeting. Isn't it intelligent to pig?
Yeah. So basically,
Keith Ewell's telling the story about his childhood or something. It'll be just a minute.
Oh. But you guys invited Keith and he just said no.
Keith always says no. Keith always says no. It's standard. It's standard with Keith. Let's go. All right. Yeah, well, hey, Forrest.
It's a lot of work getting everybody going.
You know, I've got him this far. Getting Marilyn is the first step. Chris usually falls into Marilyn. And then we have to do to
He's like the queen bee.
He's the queen bee.
Like the queen bee.
See you guys. Laurie, I left you a message see if you want to go lunch with us, but you didn't respond.
Yeah, lunch meeting.
All right, you and your intelligent config.
For
So,
once
John, you guys
in the
go
last
on
5
Wednesday
years, you've actually proactively asked me if I wanted
Oh,
to
you
go.
always have an open invitation. You know that.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
there's Caroline. We're coming over to get you.
Over here. Nice on
Oh,
time.
this whole lunch thing's expanded to other departments now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they even had
We are
INET.
very versatile in our group.
It sounds like.
So, John, you just walked
We
through
only
the
pick
entire
the ones we
building
like
now
from
and-
other departments.
No, that's what I have instant message for.
Ah.
Yeah.
Who's driving?
Chris.
Come with us. You got room.
There you go.
Yep, we got fun. We're good. So, Doug, are we filming during lunch? Or you?
No, you guys go. I don't want to invade the privacy
Yeah, I
that
don't
way.
have to be on my
Are you
best
That was-
behavior.
Back, you can see us getting back in.
Yeah, call me when you come back. I want to see. I want to see how it
You
went.
get to
And
see
then
him
the pressure
selling
when we
Marilyn.
come
Come on,
back.
Marilyn. Come on, Marilyn.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Have fun, guys.
All happy leaving, and when we come back.
Yeah, I want to see what it's like when you come back.
Excuses for everything, man.
That's what I'll do. Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, she's throwing in the target.
Yeah, now we got a shopping ad on top of that. All right, Doug.
I'll be doing the same thing. I know where that camera was at.
All right, there they go. It's lunchtime. Let's see. Marilyn's gone. Eric's gone. Hamlin's gone wherever he goes, perhaps running today. There's Blakeslee. He said he was going to be working during lunch, and so he must be. At least he's making it out like he is. Kevin, he's brought his lunch here today. So he wasn't. No, Kevin even stuck his head out when the invitations were going on. And they didn't invite you, Kevin. I didn't even hear it.
Well, I just wanted to let John know everything that happened with the softball thing. I'm over it. 3 years of therapy has done me wonders. John, just let it go. Please, just let it go, okay?
We see that Forrest, of course, is gone, and Louie. There's Bo. He said he was going to eat lunch here, and I guess he is.
Yeah, because I got to stay with that Atkins thing. I got my spaghetti and meatballs, and
Looks like it's working for you.
it's unclear why I'm not losing weight yet, but I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah. How many years have you been on this now?
It's
Or?
been about a year and a half now, and I think I'm ready to lose about a pound.
Good luck, man. Stay with it. Don't give up. Deb, she's working here. Of course, here's Brad. Rob's, he got invited, but he's working. He's plugging away. And let's see. Who else we have here? Kevin's gone. He must have run off with Eric. Wes is out too. Let's see. Did Jason go to lunch? Oh, hey, Jason's actually gone. Interesting. You know, Jason was originally going to be going with these guys, and you wonder what's happening there. Here's David. Now, David, do you ever get invited into the John Erickson lunch crowd?
No.
No?
The lunch crowd?
Well, that says it all for David right there.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for stopping by.
And then there's Malloy. Hold it. Malloy's got all these bananas here. I don't know what this is all about. This gigantic mug. That's kind of interesting. I don't know what happened there. Laurie, of course, got invited. And then Evans says he's in the config meeting. Scott Hockyard and Aaron got invited, but he's working away. Let's see. Erickson's gone. Fernando's gone. Cheryl's gone. Keith's gone. John, how was lunch today?
Lunch was good. We
Where'd you end up? Subway?
We went to Subway.
Yeah.
But it was too crowded there, so we actually took our lunch and we went over to outside the healthy food choice store and ate lunch at the table. Then we walked in and we bought some stuff. I bought peanut butter clusters and low carb peanut butter clusters. We went in, did a little shopping. Bought some food.
Did you end up going to Target?
No, we did not go to Target. We went to the low carb cookies. Oh, okay, good. We went to the like I said, went to the carb place, the low carb place, and had that. So it was a good lunch.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so
it was quiet. I mean, the five of us went. We had a good time.
So how did did lunch work out? Pretty much the way you kind of envisioned it for today. I mean, you had 5. You missed it.
Once you get in the car and you have a destination mind, it's all runs smooth. The hardest, most difficult part is the organization, the getting to the vehicles, and the destination location. Once you get in the vehicle and the destination is determined, it all falls into place.
It's all over there.
It's like preparation and planning for the big game, and then you get in there and the plays just run smooth. And
Great.
It does well.
Great. Okay.
It worked out really good.
All right. Very good.
You know, and this is a daily occurrence, usually about 3 to 5, 1 to 5 times a week.
And do you have any tips for other lunch coordinators that may be out there?
One of the things that I would recommend you strongly do is you got to get your group of core people that you know you can count on.
Okay.
I know that 9 times out of 10 I can count on Chris to go. And Chris is the key, because if you get Chris or Marilyn to go, the other one follows suit.
Yeah.
That's the crux of the whole thing. Evans is usually about 90% reliable. Forrest and Blakeslee,
Hard to tell.
they're hard to tell because they're so sensitive to location and food type.
Now, some people say that you call it this core group. Some people call it a clique. Do you think that's fair?
I don't think that's fair because we
characterization?
have an open-ended lunch policy. If Keith Ewell wanted to go, if Cheryl wanted to go, Fernando, anybody is welcome. There is no set, you can't come. We don't specifically go out and
You don't discriminate.
Anybody. No.
Yeah. All right.
But, some people we don't ask because we know, like for example, Alex and Maria. They have set times they have to go to lunch due to their schedule.
What can you do there? Yeah.
You can't do much there unless you take your lunch either way early or way late.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Other people like Fernando like to bring in his lunch. And he does it 9 times out of 10. Every once in a while, go out. Dick Hamblin, the elitist Nazi over there, is slavish to the single Friday format.
Well, at least he's running or something at lunch.
But he's a difficult animal because he's what I would consider to be like a weed in the rose in the garden of flowers.
Oh my! Okay.
He likes to sit there and just throw things at you and then create dissension.
He's always undermining your efforts.
Oh yeah, he's always over there trying to undermine the efforts.
Okay.
So.
All right, John. Well, good job today.
Well, thanks. And anytime anybody has any questions, feel free to have them call me.
Okay. So, Mark, you didn't go to lunch today. You think you missed anything big?
I'll find out tomorrow.
Marilyn, that all worked out. You guys made it to the restaurant and everything.
We went to Subway.
Yeah.
There were no tables. We had another dilemma. We had to go find a place to sit down and eat because all the tables were full.
Oh, wow.
Johnny backed out at that point. He said, "I coordinated and got you guys there. It's your job to figure out."
So you
where
guys
to
had
sit."
to figure it out from there. Huh? He just
right.
kind of abandoned his
That's
responsibilities.
right. Once he's out the door and has everybody in the truck, that's it. His duties are done.
Yeah, that's what he seemed to tell me a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about that?
So, Greg, it worked out okay today for lunch?
It did. We were a little short on the seating area, so we actually had to take our meal to another location, which John handled just fine.
Okay.
He handled it as far as being able to do it and carry his food properly.
Oh, well, that's
But Marilyn actually suggested where we should go. So
she kind of took the lead there.
She really took the reins outside of this, the realm of the office. It worked out really well.
You think Erickson pretty much, once he gets you guys in the car, he's done?
He's out.
He's done.
At that point, I think he's leaves
done.
it up to the rest of us if there's any changes or adjustments that we need to make, that he just relies on our own ambitions to do that.
Okay.